Good morning, good morning. I'm going to show my screen in a second. Make sure everything is up. Make sure the chat is up. God bless you all. Give me a second. I need to turn on the. It's all right. Grab your notebooks. Grab your notepad. Let's log in. Let me see. Pull up. Let me go to my screen. Let me share my charts. Let me share everything. Let's go to main. Let's go here. Looking at UJ. I've been in UJ for a while now, since last night, 1 in the morning ish. I got in within this candlestick here. Got in within this candlestick here. I'm still holding. Looking to see if this 4 hour area does hold as resistance. If it does continue to hold as resistance. My computer's chopping a little bit. Let me close that. Let me let my computer stop freezing, stop lagging. Let me close some things. All right, cool. I'm gonna look at, as long as price maintains below this area of resistance, then I would continue to be looking for sells all the way down into the next 4 hour zone with take profits in between my 1 hour zones. If price does fail to maintain above here and price does hit my stop loss, I am most likely wrong, and price is going to go up into this next 1 hour zone, and I don't want to be in this trade, and I will wait for a break, retest, and look to go long here. I gave my stop loss enough breathing room because there has been a lot of wicks, a lot of motion that's been happening in this area, and I put my stop loss above all of these wicks. Therefore, if price comes all the way up here, I'm wrong, and I don't want to be in the trade. So price can do whatever it wants to for however long it takes, and until price hits one of these alerts, I am not going to be touching UJ and continuing to let UJ do his thing. Same thing with gold. Gold is still trading above, and this 4 hour zone has been so major. If gold does maintain below this 1 hour zone, price could potentially come back down into support. If price breaks above here, price could potentially come up into the next 1 hour zone, which would be right here in this area. Here in this area. I'll mark it off because that'll keep me in the 3 range. Yeah, I'll keep it like that. And that's what I'll be looking at. Go looking at UJ. What I want to break down today is we're going to go back to the 5-step system flow because that's how you build systems and break free from systems. So what I'm going to put heavy emphasis on, because this stage 1 is the most important stage. You can't go to any of the other stages unless you have stage 1. And clarity is not, and clarity in the method that I'm going to show you guys to gain clarity and how you can gain clarity before you go to 2, 3, and 4. Because if you spend all your focus and you truly take this one right here serious, everything else, I guarantee you that whatever system that you're trying to break or trying to build, if you follow that plan that you've gotten right here in this clarity and do these next steps, it will become automatic. This works, and it's worked for me, and it just hasn't worked for me. It's worked for other clients that I've had as well, and I'll share one of them actually here in a second. I want to share Danny's journey and her progress. For me, this system has helped me when it came to fitness. If you guys know me fitness wise, every single skill that I've unlocked, and I'm learning the planche right now, and I'm going to unlock my goal clarity wise is a 3 to 5 second full planche hold. And I went from terrible form my first attempts, and now yesterday I just hit my newest PR. I was able to get into the full planche position with a orange with this band right here. I used this band. It's barely anything. And I was able to get into a full planche and hold it for like a second or two. I'm getting there closer and closer. So I know that this method works because it worked. That's how I was able to unlock a 10-second handstand in less than 2 weeks. I was able to unlock that one arm handstand in less than 3 months. I'm using this. That's how I was able to unlock the muscle up in a week, and how I am doing the same exact thing for planche. This is how I built my trading system, and this has helped countless others as well. Not only did it help me with these systems like trading, these specific, what's the word, arenas, this helps internally. This has helped me overcome social anxiety. This has helped me overcome anger. This has helped me overcome so many things. This has helped me build systems, break free from systems, and it works. Not only does it work for me, I want to share with you guys Danny, because Danny's story is beautiful. Her success story is beautiful. Danny came to me, when she came to me, when we broke everything down, we followed the same exact format, and now Danny's doing results like this, right? Let me share this with you guys. She's doing things like this now. She's doing things where she's making $5,000. She's winning trade after trade after trade. This is across, she passed 5 prop firm accounts, and she's gotten over 4 payouts. Over 4 payouts. 650, 800, 700, 2,900. Her first 4-figure payout. This is the same person. She passed all the accounts. This is the same person, right? Who, when she came to me, she was trading longer than I've been trading. She was not a complete beginner. We watched the same courses. She knew what to do. She just didn't stick through it long enough to trust in herself and trust in her system. And that's what we started off with. It was using this method to get to the root cause of it. And that's the reverse pyramid method. And what it looks like is this. And I'm going to use her as a study, as an example, to break down exactly how we did this and to get to the point where she's at now. Let me go back to here. Let me pull this up. Yes, that was a crazy drop. Let me see. Pull this up. All right, so this is what I call it the reverse pyramid method. This is how it works. So we have just gonna draw a pyramid, an upside down triangle, right? And what the reverse pyramid method looks like is you start off with just get everything on paper. You gain clarity. You just dump everything out here. And what happens is you keep on slowly going down this ladder. You keep slowly going down and slowly going down until we get to this point right here. And this point right here, this is the clarity. This is the true clarity. This right here is what we're going to do when we start going to the second step is practice. We need this in order to go to step 2. And how do we get to this point? You start off here in this area, and what that looks like is putting everything on paper, getting everything out. And what me and Danny did, right? Let me pull this up. What we did was put everything on paper. So we figured out all the things. We gained clarity. We identified what are all the distractions. So this is what we did with her. First, I identified, before you get to like the actual meat of it, what are the things that are preventing you from getting there? So what are the distractions? We're building this out together. What are the distractions? And we've identified that, the distractions were, herself, for one, consuming more than producing. And it was even her job. Her job was one of her distractions. It was so beautiful. And it really showed me how powerful this system really is. And that's why I know it works. And that's why I'm so confident in it. It works. It only works if you actually apply it and stick to it. I guarantee you it will work. The thing that I can guarantee you is that you will build that system or break that system. The non-guarantee that nobody can guarantee you, and I can't guarantee you, is how long it's going to take to do that. That is up to you. I'm giving you the blueprint. This blueprint, you can do it, and you will be able to build any system or break free from any system if you follow this. I can guarantee you that it will become automatic. That is 110% guarantee if you follow it. How long it's going to take, there's no guarantee. Because just like the word, if you follow the Lord, if you follow what God's calling for you in your life and follow his laws and commandments, there is a guaranteed blessings that you receive. When you also read the Bible, you will not find where it says how long when you get that blessing. He that endures to the end, blessed is the man that endures temptation. It doesn't say blessed is the man that endured temptations for a month and then he will receive his blessings. Endure. Everybody's endurance is different. Some person it may have been a month. Some person that breakthrough may be a year from now. Some people that breakthrough may be 3 years. Use all the people in the Bible for example. Joseph was in prison for 13 plus years. It was 13 plus years. Joseph went through that process for 13 plus years before he received the blessing. It took Noah a whole plethora of years. It doesn't say it, but it took Noah a while. It took Noah a while for him to build that ark. David. David went through what he went through for a while. When Paul had that transformation, when he went from Saul to Paul, that took X, Y, and Z. It said that in the Bible, Paul, because remember, let's go back to Joseph. Joseph took 13 plus years. It said that Paul went away when God called him in Galatians, the first chapter of Galatians. It said that Paul went away for 3 years. And when he came back so transformed that people was like, yo, this is the same man that used to persecute and slander God's name and the church of God, right? And this same person is spreading a word and like just spreading wisdom. Like this is a completely different person. That was 3 years. Joseph was 13. Noah was who knows how long it took him to build that ark. All these people were different. But what was guaranteed? Noah guaranteed that blessing. He was saved, him and the people that was with him. Joseph. Joseph not only saved himself, well, he didn't save himself, but God didn't only just save Joseph. God didn't just save Joseph's family. God used Joseph to save an entire nation, to save all the people. Same thing with Moses. Moses went through because Moses, I think Moses fasted for 30 days or 40 days. Moses fasted for an extended period of time. Jesus fasted 30 days and then Satan came and tempted him. The timeline is different. So there's no guarantee how long it will take, but there is a guaranteed of the outcome. The outcome is guaranteed. I guarantee you this system will make whatever it is you want to build, whatever the system that you want to build, and whatever that system that you want to break. I guarantee you this system will work. You just got to follow it. And the first important part is clarity. So going back to the thing about Danny, what we did was, what are all the distractions? Her job was one of them. And like an update to where when she told me that, I was like, yo, that's beautiful. Because her job was really, I could see it. Her job was really holding her back. And she got to the point where she went on this crazy, not crazy, she went on this winning streak of, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks in a row where she did not lose a single trade. I remember her sending me the screenshot. She's made over 4 figures, and she was able to leave that job that she was at. She went from blowing account after account after account after account after account, and she took a 3-figure account to 4 figures plus in 2 weeks. She was able to leave her job and start trading, and then she was able to, because she wanted a better job, she was able to leave that job and get a better one. A better one that where people respected her more. She had more time to trade and everything, and now she's making 4-figure payouts. She's making more in a single trade in a single day and a single payout than she would get from, paychecks, multiple paychecks at the job, and doing 90% less work than she would at those jobs, because she was a waitress. She was doing a lot of like waitress things and X, Y, and Z, and she would talk a lot about how the people treated her and X, Y, and Z. And now where she's at now, she's a lot happier where she's at. So it works. Guarantee you it works. And there's other people that it worked for as well. There's people, that's the trading. I have somebody in the fitness. Within less than a month, he was able to unlock a full handstand for 5 to 10 seconds. And now he's just going crazy. It works. Just follow it. I should not want it more than you want it. You gotta actually want it. All I'm here to do is just to show you how simple it is to really build systems and break free from systems. You can make this as complicated as you want it to be, regardless of the fact it's only 5 steps. There's no more, and I'm not adding more steps and taking anything away. This is going to stay the exact same every single way. My goal is to show you how to use it and how to implement it to get to this point. I want to show you, and I'm going to show you how to get to this point, automation, where it becomes automatic. That's the whole point, and that's my focus. And in order to do that, what happened? Oh, let me go back to this. In order to do that, you have to have clarity. Let's go back to this, and this is the reverse pyramid, right? So this is what we did. We went down the line. What are the distractions? So we identified all of the distractions that she had. Then, let me go here. We identified all the distractions. Then we identified all the things that she didn't have clarity on. What was the thing? Okay, do you know the pairs that you trade? Oh, no. Okay, cool. What pairs do you want to trade? She wanted to trade the golds and the Nas, but she was trading like not gold and Nas. There's one thing right there. You're not trading the pairs that you want to trade, that you're able to see the results. She's made her biggest profits trading those pairs that she wanted to trade. She wanted to trade the golds, the nods. And I think now she even trades what's the thing? Not options. She does options now. That the prop firm that she has, she does options now. Where she's getting all those payouts, options, and she's trading like NQ. So you identify, start off here, all the distractions. You identify everything that you, what is it? What is your goal? Identify what do you want to achieve? What is in the way of that? How do I get here? Put everything here. Just dump it all out. You want to get in shape? We'll put everything there. What's gonna get you in shape? Well, okay, I gotta build a workout plan. Okay, well, I gotta stop eating out all the time. I gotta learn how to actually cook. Okay, if you do calisthenics, you don't need a gym. But if you want to lift weights, okay, I need a gym membership. Okay, well, I can't afford a gym membership. Okay, so what are the distractions that I have now? What other things that am I paying for that I can remove? Okay, I have Netflix, I got Spotify, I got Hulu, I got Disney Plus, I got Amazon Prime, I got TikTok Premium, Instagram Premium, YouTube Premium, Premium. I got Uber Eats, I eat out at Uber Eats all the time. Okay, take all of those away. Delete every last one of them. Unsubscribe from all of them. There's your money right there to invest it into whatever it is you need to invest in to get started. The trading accounts, the mentorships, the the gym memberships, the food. There's there. Remove those distractions. Now we're keep on going down that list. So now we were here. So we put everything on paper. We identified everything here. Now we go to the next level. So now the next level is let's remove all of the distractions. Before you try to add anything or build anything, just first remove all the distractions. And that's what we did with Danny. I'm using her as a case study because it's better to use that as an example so I can keep the same flow going. So what we did was remove all the distractions. The pairs that she didn't want to trade, get them out. We identified exactly how she trades, her key areas, how she wanted to do things, because for her, it wasn't about building a system for her. And this is why everybody's different, because there's someone else that I'm working with now, and we're actually building her system. Danny was different. She had a system. She just didn't stick through her system long enough to actually trust in it. And that's the point that we got her to. And then we went all the way down the list. We did the whole pyramid thing. And what we got to the core thing was, this was the core thing. She knew what to do. She not only did she knew what to do, she knew how to do it as well. The issue was she didn't stick through it long enough to trust in it. That was the issue. We went through everything, remove all the distractions, remove all the noise, because it's like, yo, Danny, support resistance. There's nothing. I don't need to teach you anything. I'm not teaching. I don't need to teach you about candlesticks or nothing. She never asked me to teach her about support resistance and none of that. It was like, yo, I keep beating myself up. That was the issue. Every time that she went on a losing streak, she kept beating herself up. It was that imaginary roadblock that I talk about all the time. That the imaginary roadblock, that rope, when that losing streak happened, she started to visualize and she started to formulate a figment of her imagination of this roadblock that was in front of her. And when she saw that roadblock, she kept on going back. And what that going back was, beating herself up, doubting her strategy, doubting if she's doing things right, doubting if she was ever going to make it. That's what that was. That's what the cycle. We gained clarity on it. That's what it is. It's because she would go on streaks. Yo, she was taking like literally like $50, $100 to $5,000, $10,000, but she would lose it all. She was taking small figures to big numbers, but all it took was that one trade and she spiraled out of control. She was doing that constantly. Small 3-figure to 4-figure plus 5 figures. right back down to three figures, two figures, just like that. Every time it was that point right here, it was that constant cycle. And that's what the time spent as the days goes on. At first, it's that dopamine rush of like, yo, okay, yo, you're being consistent, winning trade after trade after trade after trade. And I've noticed that she knows how to trade because she would go on winning streaks. It was that soon as she take that first loss, soon as the market start consolidating a little bit, soon as she had a day at work where she put in so much work and so much effort. This is like gaining so much clarity on it. It would be days where she would get, let's say, whatever it is tips wise from a full day at work, like, a lot of people coming in because remember she was like a waiter. So it's a lot of people that you got to waitress that you got to deal with. And she would come back and look at the charts and it's like, yo, I could make in a day, I can make in 30 minutes what I would make in days at the job because she was just so ready to leave that job. And that's what it was. She was allowing that job to control her because she kept on thinking, I gotta get, I got it, I gotta do that, I gotta do that, I just want to leave the job so bad. And instead of using that as fuel, she used that as her downfall. And what we did was we turned that downfall into her fuel. Once we had that clarity and we started practicing it, that's what I kept on holding her accountable to. It was, we all need somebody in our life. It was that whenever she felt like giving up, I'm all, yo, no. Remember, you made it this far. X, Y, and Z. Keep on going. And because we identified what is that thing that would keep you going. And to her, it was knowing that job, knowing that she was making X, Y, and Z. Let's say a couple $100s in tips, and she would make. And I was like after a full day's work, and she would make that in one trade, two trades. And I say, yo, remember that. Keep on remembering that. That $200, that whatever it is that you make, keep on remembering that number. You're going, keep on remembering that. And what happened was she kept on doing it over and over and over again. And she would doubt herself here and there, but I noticed something. The amount of times that she doubted herself started to decrease. The period at which that doubt came a lot further apart. At first, it was just the one trade, self doubt, all the way back to square one. Then it was a couple of trades, three trades, four trades, X, Y, and Z, longer, longer, longer. Then she started going on winning streaks and started doubting herself. So now we went from going on losing streaks to doubting yourself. Now you're going on winning streaks and doubting yourself. Why? Because you went actually walk through that barrier. You see, like, yo, what I do actually works. My system works. And she was doubting herself because she was thinking, yo, I won, yo, five trades in a row, six trades in a row, seven trades in a row, eight trades in a row. Yo, y'all don't want to get too overconfident and lose. That wasn't the case. It was just she hasn't been in that, stepped in that for long enough to actually see that, yo, this actually works. That was just her first taste of it. You got to do that over and over again. And you see, yo, okay, wait a minute. I won five trades in a row multiple times. If you've won in your system, think about this, your trading system or whatever it is. Let's say trading, since we're on that topic. If you won five trades in a row 100 times, imagine the amount of trust that you would have and confidence in your system than you winning five trades in a row one time. Big difference. You experienced it so much more. You won five trades in a row so many times. So it's like, yo, this is normal. And then the more that you stop putting yourself in that barrier, there's no limit. And that's what was happening. I've observed that. She was allowing her 9 to 5 to cap her trading mindset. Because at a 9 to 5, you're capped at a certain amount. Because she knew on average, like how much she would get paid regularly, her hourly wage, and what that number was. And she knew on average how like tips can vary here and there, right? But she knew on average, this is how much I'm bringing in on average a month. And she was capping her mind trading wise. She was thinking that same way. When trading is not the same thing, you can go on a 20 trade win streak. I've done that before, and I remember showing you guys that before. I think I won 28 trades in a row. And to me, I was not surprised or anything because what happens is you start building up so much momentum. It wasn't that I won, that was like my first time ever winning over 20 trades in a row. But that doesn't stop you because all the accumulation of me winning 5 trades in a row, me winning 10 trades in a row, me winning 2 trades in a row, 3 trades in a row, 5 trades in a row, me seeing the system play out more times than not, it's not surprising that in a condition, because during that condition the market was trending. That was when gold was just flying up last year. During like the was it last year or the year before, whenever when that government shutdown was, gold was just flying up. And I wasn't surprised because my number one setup is like the break and retest setup and the breakout setup when the market is trending. So of course it was gonna play out all the time. If gold is just keep on going up and it's not, and it's just higher, higher, low, higher, higher, low, higher, higher, low, higher, higher, low, and it just kept on doing that, I'm gonna capitalize off of that. I won't forget, like I won, it was like 28 and like 32, and then I ended up losing and like 2 or 3 trades in a row, and then 1 5 in a row again. It's because you do the same thing over and over and over again, and that's what practice looked like. She kept on every time. It was stop switching things up. It was always those, okay, I messed up here. Maybe I need to redraw my support resistance. Maybe I need to do this. It's no. Even if you feel the way, and that's what I emphasize with her, it doesn't, even with your emotions, you can have all the emotions in the world. I can't take emotions away from you. I can't take emotions away from anybody because I'm not in her situation. I wasn't at that job that she hated. So I can't just take away your emotions. Those emotions are something that's something you got to overcome yourself. But that's not the thing though. The thing is you have a system. I don't care about the emotions. You have a system that works. Follow the system, not your emotions. And that's what was instilled with practice and repetition. Repetition, it was over and over and over again. Okay, you're beating yourself up, Danny. Okay, I understand. You hate your job. Follow your system. You know exactly this is how you enter. This is your top-down analysis. You know the time frames. You know exactly what you need to see. You had a hard day at work. Follow your system. Okay, I'm gonna follow it. Lost a couple trades. Had a hard day. You lost a couple trades. You went on a lose streak, and you had a hard day at work. I get it. Okay, follow your system. And it kept on going over and over and over again. So it's like, yo, I actually trust in my system. We went to stage 4 was the refinement, refining certain things along the way. And then as time went on, you do it over and over and over and over again. And like I showed you guys earlier, you get to the point where now you are making consistent payouts. You pass this, she went from here, 4-figure payouts consistently. 4-figure, 500, 600. Let me go here. Here, 700, 800. Remember I told you guys, winning trades in a row. Consistently. Nothing but green days. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is more recent. So this wasn't that like first time. This is more recent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Across all of her prop firms. Well, not her accounts. And now she's amazing. She's doing her own thing. And now what she has is she has the same exact framework that she can apply to every single area in her life. It's really that simple. Put the most emphasis on clarity. Don't go to any of the other steps. None of the other steps are going to matter until you solidify this. You can make it as challenging or as difficult as you want. And I was thinking about this. I was in the car last night and really just thinking about this and truly how powerful it is. God put this on my spirit, right? Words actually can be enough if you say it's enough. What I mean by that is if you, that entire thing that you are struggling with, whatever that thing is, you could really just speak life into that situation and overcome it. If you are somebody who deals with gluttony and all you do is eat out, you can really just tell yourself, hey, I'm no longer going to eat out no more. I'm done eating out. I'm done being a glutton. I'm going to cook all my meals from home from now on. I'm not a glutton no more. I'm going to get in shape. You could literally say that in that same day, in that same hour, you no longer eat out again. You can do that. That's very much possible. If that's what works for you. If you want it to be that way. Not everyone is like that. You can have two people, right? Let's go back to here. Let's get more clear. Let me show you how simple this is. This can be. It can be however you want it to be. You can have two people. You have person A and let me zoom in. Person A, and then let me zoom out a little bit. I want to show you guys it just so you guys can see person A and person B, so you can visually see it here. I'm gonna actually speak what I want to say though. Person A and person B. Person A learns different from person B. And this is what I've learned by doing this so much is you got to understand who you're working with. You got to understand the person. Understand, and this is why it's easier to teach, and I'm grateful that God put me through so. And think about it, this I've used this system flow to build this business. I've used this system flow to be able to teach the way that I teach now. It was gaining clarity. Okay, speak it, and well, in order to actually do this, you gotta have actual people to do this with, clients. I would do it in public. I would do it online. It was I don't even count. There's a lot of people that I've done and like work with, and people that came to me for help, whether that was in person in different areas, and every last one of them needed a different requirement. They needed to be spoken to differently. They understand things differently. Some people are more visual learners. Some people are better at hearing. Some people are better at like writing things down. They need everything like a full list and everything to the T. Some people they get it on the first time. Some people they get it after several times. You have person A who truly believes that the power is really in their tongue because the word says that life and death is in the power of the tongue. Your tongue is like a steering wheel to a ship. The word says this countless times, right? You can have a person if you saying let's take lust for example. Let's take masturbating and all of that. Let's say the porn addictions, right? You can have you can literally, because I know this, I've done both of them. And I realized either way works. I prefer, because me, I prefer speech. I prefer to make it as simple as possible. Why would I make it more complicated? Because I like the first approach because it builds more faith and trust in God. Because it allows me to put it in God's hands and not try to keep on doing everything on my own. It's literally the powers in your tongue. The word says, submit to God, resist the devil, and he shall flee. When you have the urges, now remember this, like, okay, I said, you know what, I'm gonna actually really apply this. Because at first, this is what I'm gonna show both, and I'm gonna use me for an example as well. I'm gonna use me with the porn addiction that I had. It was when I first was trying to break free from it. It was very simple. I was like, yo, I'm gonna just stop. No, actually, no, it was more challenging because I was like, all right, cool. I went through this whole entire process on my phone of blocking the websites. I would put my phone in this mode, X, Y, and Z. I would lock it. Like I had to go through this whole list because what that did was it created so much friction for me to be able to just go watch that. You have to do 30 plus steps. And that's how I would do it when I first was overcoming. I'm like, yo, all right. I done blocked the websites. I done did this. I done did that. I done did that things. In order for me to go watch this, I gotta go unblock the website. I gotta do this. I gotta go to the thing. I gotta go to incognito mode. I gotta go to here. I gotta go to there. I gotta go to the website. I gotta find the video. Then I gotta click on the video. I gotta wait for the video load. I gotta do all of this stuff, right? This huge laundry list of things just to get to that point. You have so many steps in between, and I realize how simple this is. You have so many opportunities in between to not go do that thing. Then you have the other scenario where it got to the point where That scripture, submit to God, resist the devil and flee, and he will submit to God, resist the devil and he will flee. Bro, that is the scripture I apply now. And that's how I do things now. That's how easy it is now. Submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee. Okay. Submit to God. And I started applying now. Say, submit to God. Okay, God, I know I had this issue. Speak life. You see what I said? I didn't say have. Had. I would speak life into this situation. I would speak as if I've already overcame it. God, I had this issue. These temptations are popping up. I'm gonna submit it to you. Go. And guess what that submission looks like? Submitting when you have the urges to go open up the websites, just don't open up the websites. It's as simple as that. Just don't open up the websites. You don't have to do a whole laundry list of things. Just don't open up the websites. And then what I started to do was make that enjoyable. Because with temptations, it can be something that you hate and it's so detrimental and it's so terrible. But I started to make it fun. And I started to actually level up my body in the process. Every time that I would have that temptation and that urge to go watch those websites or those wicked thoughts would pop in my mind, I would do some like push-ups right there on the spot. And usually I've observed where I was doing those push-ups at was always when I was just being idle, when I was just chilling, when it was just me laying down. I would not have those thoughts while I'm at the gym, while I'm out in public, while I'm driving X, Y, and Z. I always did it at home when it was just me. When I was around people, I never had to do them because I didn't have those urges. And I used this same exact cycle because I started practicing it. I'm gonna keep on doing push-ups. I'm gonna keep on doing push every time I get a thought. I keep on repeating it and a refinement, and I started to gain that refinement. I said, "Oh, okay. I get these urges every time where it's just me when I'm in that idleness. That's when I get the urges. So me knowing that, that's okay. That's when I need to be very aware and keep on resisting it. And now it's to the point where I don't have that issue no more. I don't struggle with that. Now, and you start doing it so much, right? It gets to the point where it starts to become disgusting to you. Now you have to, it's like you can't even, it's like, yo, I used to do that. You're watching another man get it in with another female. That's like having your best friend and the girl that you're interested in talking to getting it in, and you're sitting there right there in the moment recording them. That's what it's really like when you do that. And I said, yo, that is disgusting. And you realize how simple it is. I struggled with it for so long, and yet overcoming it was so easy. Why? Because I had the power of God. God gave me the strength, and I used His word. Sorry, I used His word to overcome it. Let me see. Was that something trading was, right? USD JPY 157 800. Okay, cool. Price is still respecting this area. Wait a minute. Did I get stopped out? Interest. I guarantee you I got stopped out. Let's see, let's look at this. Actually, wait a minute. I don't have a trading view. Trading. I know I got stopped out because price hit 158.10 and that's what my stop loss was. Oh, let me see. Did I get stopped out and price just went directly in my direction? I did. I did. I did. I did. Yeah. Price literally it tapped the stop loss because I had my stop loss at 158, 158, 10, 110. This is my stop loss was. Price came up here, tapped it, and then came all the way down into 1 hour support. Guess what? The system played out. Even if I lost the trade, the system played out. What just happened at 9:45 is beyond me, bro. Is beyond me. Meets XI, probably something within this, right? This XI meeting thing. And this is what it's like live for me, bro. This is the repetition. I've done this so many times. I've been in scenarios where price hits my stop loss and stops me out. And I also know the scenarios that used to follow after this. After this would happen, this is those scenarios where I used to start revenge trading. And I'm on the 1 second time frame. Obviously, I'm exaggerating. But I would go straight to the 1 minute time frame. Now I gotta get that. I gotta get that. I gotta get that back. No way. I'm pissed. You telling me I held a trade for since one because I got in right here this evening start. You telling me I held a trade since 1:35 in the morning and it is 9:46. I held this trade for a whole 9 to 5 shift. Price stopped me out in 1 second and went all the way down to my TP in less than 30 seconds. The same thing that it took me a whole 9 to 5 holding, it got there in less than 10 seconds. I'm pissed. I got to get back in. That's how it used to be. Now it's you do it so many times, and what I did during those phases is exactly what I'm doing now, which is why it's so normal and easy for me to do it now. It's just resist it. Resist that urge to jump back in. If it's not aligned with the strategy, I'm not getting back in. If it's there's an opportunity for me to get back in, I will get in. But to just see this crazy spike and it's like, yo, I gotta jump in to get a catch of it. Because I've done that so many times where I would get stopped out, price drops all the way down here. Let me try to get in. Let me try to hurry up and get in right here. And what happens is immediately price may wick down here a little bit, and then price flips, go all the way and goes the opposite direction. Completely bullish. Now we in a whole different trend. I've seen that happen so many times. And to me, it'd be wise to not even put myself in that situation. That'd be foolish. Just wait. It's okay. Trust. Trust. It's okay. That's why I like tell myself when I look at it, submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee. That one scripture is I apply that to everything in my life. Submit to God, resist the devil, and he shall flee. Once again, you make it as challenging or as difficult as you want it to be. I just want it to be simple. When I was getting in shape and getting my body the way that it is, I just said, yo, just keep showing up. It's as simple as that. It took me when I first started off at how I looked. Let me see if I can find a picture because I have multiple pictures. I want to show you guys if I can find it, that'd be beautiful. Let me go. Let's go here. I want to show you guys how simple this is. How what sticking through it actually looks like. It took me I didn't have any abs or abs barely showing and out of shape, I wasn't overweight or nothing. Let me see if I can find. Uh, I remember I had a bunch of, let's see, pics. Okay, cool. Yeah, I got it. Let me see if I'm gonna show you guys how simple this is. I want to show you guys some pictures of how it looked. This was when I share my testimony of it all the time. This was that season where I was at the lowest of my life. And it was, I don't want to say it was this picture. It was one of these pictures where I remember looking in the mirror and seeing how I looked. And I said, yo, I will never let myself look like this again. This is what I looked like. I I wasn't like fat or nothing. To me, this was disgusting. This is what because it wasn't just my physique, it was the person that I was back at this time. Back at this time, this was when I used to watch porn and masturbate a lot of times. Like I used to, and I was just letting myself go physically, mentally. I just felt so drained and felt so disgusting. This is how I was, and I literally changed. And let me see, do I have any other pictures? Let me see. And in a matter of less than 6 months, let me see if I can find it. I literally decided that day, I said, yo, I'm never going to do this, be like this again. And that exact same day, I remember going to the gym and training for like 4 hours. I was in the gym just training handstands for like 4 hours. Let me see. Uh, I don't know if I can see if I can find a picture. I don't know if I could find one. But within that same like 6 months, no, I lost all of that, and I am trying to see if I can find that. Let me see. Actually, I know a good image. So you guys seen that one, and let's see. Here's one. Let me see. Let me see if I can find this. It should be in my archive somewhere. Okay, perfect. This was this. This is what my body became in what was this? This was November 18th of 2022. Right here. Look at the date if I can show you the date. This right here was November 18th of 2022. Right? This is the physique. It went from that gut to this. And this picture, the other one that I did was that was November 18th, 2022, and this one was let's go to back to here. This one was, let me see. Okay, perfect. This one right here, back to here, May 18th, 2022. So May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 6 months. 6 months. This during this 6 months to go from this to the other picture, the other video that I showed. 6 months. And what happened during those 6 months is I simply just removed the distractions. I stopped eating out. I made sure I guarantee, I didn't even touch eating out. I said I have to cook every single meal that I make. I didn't even give myself that in between. You can, what they call it, the cheat meal. I ain't even give myself no cheat meal because I said I'm going all in on this. I'm not doing it at all. I stopped eating out, and I showed up to work out every single day. Those two things alone, I stopped eating out. So I didn't eat out, that one thing alone. And then I actually just showed up to work out every day. And I kept on doing training handstands and training a bunch of stuff. The actual, and this is what I mean by the actual training that I did in between is irrelevant because 1,000 people could have achieved the same thing in 6 months, and all of us followed different training ways. Some people, I did it with calisthenics, with just my body weight. Some people may have done it with weights. Some people may have done it with like cardio, like running and stuff and things of that sort. It does not matter. So the actual training program and all of that, a lot of people seek out this training program, this ultimate training program. That wasn't the case. It's sticking through the thing long enough to see the results that you actually want to achieve. I just kept on showing up. When I didn't want to show up, I just showed up anyway. That's literally all I did. When I wanted to eat out, I didn't eat out. And what happens is you start to build up a tolerance. Just like you got to understand and expect that you're going through those withdrawal phase, And it's deeper than just withdrawals. This is spiritual warfare. That's all it is. Because everything that I was doing, watching porn, masturbating, being lazy, not taking care of myself, that's sin. That's being slothful. Those are sins. The enemy wants you to do that. When you're breaking free from strongholds, you're going to get attacked, not just physically, but mentally. I remember I used to get attacked a lot. And during that season, that's when I was delivery driving. What a beautiful way to. That's how I leveled up so much, honestly. That was one of the things because I was like not just practicing it, but I was in scenarios all day because I was delivery driving and I would smell the pizza, the Chick-fil-A, and all of that sort. And I'll never forget it, man. I remember I used to always do this. I took it to the next level. I said, yo, you got to really be all in. And the reason why the progress happened in so little time is because I put the max amount of effort in. I not only was I delivery driving, so I wanted to overcome that gluttony eating out. Not only was I delivery driving, for one, another thing that I used to do was I used to fast. I used to fast the entire shift. I would only drink water, right? Or whatever drink that I had, like just water. I would fast the entire shift, and I would only eat after that shift was over. And the meal that I had to have was at home. You see the amount of pressure applied? Instead of just saying, I'm not going to eat out, I had the opportunity of delivery driving. So I was around food. It's easy to lock myself in my room and not have Uber Eats or anything on my phone or DoorDash on my phone. It's easy for me to lock myself in a room and say, I'm not going to eat out. But to be in scenarios where you're constantly going from restaurants where food smell amazing, the pizza, Chick-fil-A's, burgers, all these things, absolutely amazing. All you do is just drop off food, pick up food, and your car just smells like food. It took it to that next level. Took it to the next level even more, but I would fast. It's like I'm not gonna eat anything at all before I go and during this shift, and I only get to eat something that I cook at home when this shift is over. And I would still go show up and go train and go work out. It's like, yo, regardless, boom, I stopped doing that and I'm gonna just go train every day. And that training, I remember back then I was doing 100 plus handstand attempts every single day. That's all I trained back then was just handstands. Handstands. I had to say a minimum of 100 handstand attempts every single day. So not only did I just show up, I actually had a plan of what I'm going to do. Even if I didn't know how to do it, I say, yo, just do a minimum of 100 handstands. Just do a minimum every single day. Hit that minimum. The day doesn't end until that minimum is hit. You start building up so much pressure and so much resistance to now where it's at the point today where ever since then I've always had a good physique. That was 2022, this is 2026. That was 4 years ago. And for 4 years straight, I've always, every season, I've had abs, I've been in shape, and, I've trained every single season. There would be seasons where I wouldn't train as much, but I still showed up and I still continue to do it. Why? Because I built so much friction. Now it's to the point where a lot of days I don't feel like working out. I still do it anyway because I done it so many times. I done showed up so many times where I don't feel like doing it that it's easy now. And it's also to the point now where me going a week without training is, I don't remember the last time I did that. I literally don't remember the last time I went a week without training because what I do now, I can train anywhere and everywhere. I can right now do 50 handstand push-ups and that's training. I can do 50 push-ups and that's training. I can train anywhere and everywhere, so I don't have an excuse. There's no excuse to not train my body. And now I'm taking it to the next level. Like I told you guys before, trying to unlock planche. I'm not trying to unlocking planche. And training my body mobility wise. That's why I train 4 to 5 times a day. Mobility to me, in my mind, the power is in the tongue, the power is in the mind. I treat just my morning routine, my morning warm up, morning like routine, morning like mobility. I say, yo, this is a training session. I treat every single mobility thing that I do like I'm actually training for, like I actually going to do my intense day, or volume day, or combo day. I treat my warm ups like that as well. My warm up, yo, this is a training session. my post workout. This is a training session. And the nighttime, this is a session. Like I treat it like this isn't just a arm circles, just think no, it's like, yo, this is meant for a reason. I train mobility for a specific reason. I want to strengthen my muscles and strengthen my range of motion in my body and better fix my body, my shoulder strength, my shoulder range of motion, because I want to be very mobile, very flexible with my body, be able to do splits and have my arms all the way back and do the handstands where I'm getting there, where I can have my head here and my feet all the way like touching the ground. And it's just a matter of know that once again going back to this, I know that following this system will work. Every single thing that I explained all comes back down to this 5-step system flow. Just follow it. Just apply it to your life in any way that works best for you. Once again, going back to person A and person B. If clarity for you is just speaking life into that's your thing, you got all the way back down to it, you're just gonna say, yo, I'm just gonna speak it. I'm not going to add friction and add a whole bunch of things. I'm just gonna say, yo, I'm not eating out no more. Like that's me. I'm just not eating out no more. I'm just going to cook everything at home. And every time practice, what that looks like is every time you repeat it, you start getting that urge to eat out. I'm gonna just cook it at home. Whatever meal that it is that you make it fun. Enjoy the process. That's what refinement and repetition comes in. If you're doing the same exact thing, that's another video I gotta add to the course section. That's a good idea. Let me add this. How to enjoy the process. Because if you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, you could grow weak. You got to enjoy the process, make it fun. You could say, instead of doing all the extra stuff, you're putting more emphasis on doing the actual thing. Practice. Okay, I'm not eating out no more. Now it's practice. Don't eat out. Repetition. Stop eating out consistently. And refinement is every time you get the urge to eat out, whatever that meal is, learn how to make it yourself at home. You want pizza? Learn how to make your own natural dough with natural ingredients, not the enriched flour and that stuff that they use. You're just recreating the same pizza that you want. No, learn how to make it in that natural way. The good flour, the good ingredients. It's like, ask yourself, how can I make this naturally? I want pizza, but how can I make this naturally? I want Chick-fil-A. Oh, what if I made my own bread? What if I made naturally? What if I experiment and try to make my own bread? Let me try some different spices and things of that sort. Let me see if I can make my own, like, uh, what's the word? Spices, the flour to go into, like, for your sandwich. You want burgers and stuff. Make your own burgers. You want different types, like, say, like, yo, let me try to make certain recipes. You want cookies and ice cream and eating out. Yo, how can what are the natural things that are sweet? Like cookies, ice cream out. Okay, fruits, dates, sweet potatoes. I mean, sweet is in the word, sweet potato. Sweet potatoes, dates, honey, agave, all these natural things. How can I make my own cookies naturally? Natural flour. I can make sweet potato cookies? How can I make my own peanut butter? That's natural without all the canola oils and X, Y, and Z. You get you some peanuts, roast them, and then blend them up. You have peanut butter. You want to add a little bit of sea salt, add a little bit of sea salt. That's how you literally, I realize it's so easy. And when you do it so much, you realize, yo, it is so much more enjoyable and exciting to do all of this myself than to go out for the conventional things. And what you also realize, refinement, repetition, automation, it becomes so automatic that you realize this entire time you're just paying for convenience. You can make all of these things yourself and you enjoy it more because you know exactly what you're putting in. And the eating out and all of that, it's like, yo, I was eating out at Chick-fil-A all the time. Of course, it's the ingredients that they have in it that gets you addicted to it. So you start craving those savory flavors, those sugary flavors, those things. You start craving that and you start resisting that. You start to savor your food a lot more. You start to be a lot more grateful to it. You start to see the difference in your body. Repetition. You start to see when you was eating out X, Y, and Z, you would feel bloated and stuff in X, Y, and Z. And now it's when you cook your own meals, you feel so much better. And the reason why I'm saying all of this is because I've done this. And this is what I do now. This is why I'm able to cook and eat my own meals and I eat out and go however long and not even be, I'm not gonna say not tempted. For we all get tempted. Of course I get tempted to eat out, but every time I apply that same thing, it's yo, like Kristen, we talk about it all the time because I love bringing up the Chipotle. Because Chipotle and Chick-fil-A was something I used to always eat out with. I'm like, yo, Chipotle. I want to go to Chipotle. And then I started doing this, like I started actually applying it and I realized, yo, let me make my own Chipotle bowl. Let me get some rice. Let me make my own pico. Let me get the natural. Let me get some, grass fed. Let me get some cheese. Let me learn how to do all of this. And I started to notice something very different. My body feels completely different from eating a Chipotle bowl versus eating my own Chipotle bowl. Because I said, okay, I used to eat out at Chipotle every day. If I could eat out at Chipotle every single day and eat the same exact bowl, I want to experiment with this. I'm going to make my own Chipotle bowls and I'm going to eat the same exact Chipotle bowl every single day. And I did that. And I've noted when I was eating the Chipotles, it's like I feel more bloated and I feel it didn't feel right. And when I started eating my own, I felt amazing. I felt good. I felt natural. It just my body was able to process it better. And I didn't feel bloated. I didn't feel stuff. And I said, oh, okay. Chipotle gave me convenience because I didn't have to cook. I didn't have to cook the rice. I didn't have to cook the chicken. Chipotle gave me convenience. But what does it profit a man to gain the whole world but lose his soul? Convenience at what cost? I don't know what they're doing with the oils, the chickens, and like the oils that they use and all this X, Y, and Z, the cheese, and if there's the sugar, salt, this type of salt that they're using, is it the iodized salt, the that heavily processed salt, or is just I don't know. But I'm doing my own Chipotle bowl. I know exactly what it is. Start doing it over and over and over again, and it got to the point where it's like now I love cooking, and I applied that same thing when it came to fasting. I applied the same exact system when it comes to fasting as well. Started because I applied that back then, way like 4 years ago, like when I used to fast from the delivery driving, when I wanted to eat out, and then I made like just naturally, because I fasted during that season when I was trying to break free from that. So imagine fasting in a season when you've broken free from that. Imagine how much easier it is to fast because I'm no longer tied down to the dopamine rushes and the flavors and all that. After we had that conversation about Chipotle, I haven't been back, bro. I just can't get that out of my mind, bro. Every like we had that conversation and it was so deep to me, because I'm like, I can't get this out of my mind. Because I make my own, I cook my own things so much, like my own chicken breast and all that type of stuff. I'm like, yo, I could get a pack of chicken. You want to make it even more exciting, right? This is how, let's say you struggle with Chipotle. This is how you make it fun. Let's look at how you can make the journey fun. Let's say you struggle with the Chipotle bowls, right, Christian? Let's think about this for a second. What would make it even more exciting, right? What if you said, you know what? I didn't ate Chipotle out so many times. I'm going to get all the ingredients, right? I'm gonna get the rice. I'm gonna get the chicken. I'm gonna get all the things, and I'm gonna buy it in the bulk that it is. And I'm going to actually serve myself the portions that Chipotle served me. And let me see how long this will last. Bro, I remember I tried that one time. I tried that one time. I got the chicken, and like Chipotle, they give you
this amount of chicken. Like, you can fit it in your hand. You can palm it. They you can palm the amount of chicken they give you in your hand, right? It's like they boom boom. It's can I get extra chicken? It's this the extra chicken right here. You guys can't even see this. This top right here. Can I get extra chicken? This is the extra chicken, right? I said, yo, let me actually try this. So I would get like the pack of meat, like the couple, like 2, 3 pounds of meat, and cook it. Cause how I like to cook now is I ingredient prep. So instead of making like specific meals, I just get like the thing of chicken and I cook all of my chicken, and I like to like lightly season it salt, like just salt. And if I want to try different dishes, instead of me using all the seasonings and the different things that I want with that all the chicken, I just do it with salt. And so when I do want to try something, let's say with chicken, there's so many things you could do. I'll do like chicken and lentils. I'll try to make some or let's say beef, right? I'll try to make some like beef broth, beef and lentils and beef and sweet potatoes, beef bowl, X, Y, Z, right? So I would cut up all the chicken, and I said, if I were to give myself a Chipotle portion, how long would this last me? And keep in mind, that chicken would cost me less than the Chipotle bowl. Like getting all of the chicken, because the Chipotle bowl now is like, what, $15? It would cost me less than the Chipotle bowl. And I would cut it all up. I'm like, yo, I paid less for this chicken. If I were to really go on type time and give myself the portions that Chick-fil-A would give me, bro, I would be able to eat for weeks. Because I was getting Chipotle like once a day. I will be able to eat for weeks off of this chicken that I paid less for. And when you start getting that in your mind, it's like, yo, I understand. I'm not paying for this good, healthy meal or not. No, I'm paying for convenience. That extra charge, it's not the food, it's the convenience. Because when you go to Chipotle, you don't have to cook anything. Everything is cooked for you. And to those, that is, oh, they would rather do that. They would rather have the convenience of, okay, I don't have to cook, and instead of me having to cook, I'll just eat out, and that's more convenient, conventional to them, and that's what works best for them. By all means, do you. If you want to break free from that, this is some things to put in your mind to show you how simple and easy it is to really break free from those things. Stop eating Chipotle. Make your own Chipotle bowls. Ingredient prep instead of meal prepping, because even the whole like meal prep, all of this stuff is just such a delusion, bro. Because the whole meal prepping, I don't want to eat the same meals over and over again. But you can eat Chipotle every single day, and you can eat Chick-fil-A every day. But you don't want to eat the same meals over and over and over again. You can eat cookie, you can eat Oreos every single day. You can eat Frosted Flakes every single day. You can eat ice cream every single day. You can grab a cookie every day. You can get that sweet. You can eat some candy every day, but you can't eat the same meal every day. That's once again another delusion in the mind. That's a barrier that you put in your mind. That's why that's why people never get to the results that they want to see. You gain clarity and all this. You practice, and you get stuck at this phase right here, repetition. Because you repeat it for long enough, and what happens is, because you don't see your body changing in X, Y, and Z immediately, you say, I'll go back to eating out. It's no point. You gotta actually stick through it long enough to see the results. I don't want to eat the same meal over and over again. You've been eating Chick-fil-A every single day. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking to Seer. I'm talking to Seer. This is what I would tell myself, bro. I don't want to eat the same meal every single day. Well, you got two options. Don't eat the same meal every day and learn to experiment and try different meals, or understand that you used to eat Chick-fil-A every single day. Every single day. Every single day. Back then, when I was in college, a Chick-fil-A meal was like $9. And we had Paul points. And they gave us 300 to 400 Paul points. Majority of those Paul points went to Chick-fil-A. Imagine how many times is that? I know obviously sometimes I had like it was between Chick-fil-A and what's the other place? Panda Express. But let's just say on average, right? 400. Let's say they gave us 400 divided by, let's say, like 10, right? That's over 40 plus times. eating Chick-fil-A in a row. Let's say if it was I was eating those times in a row. That's 40 times in a row eating Chick-fil-A every single day. The only time I didn't eat Chick-fil-A when they was closed, but I ate Chick-fil-A every single day at around it was like 11, 12 p.m. every single day. Well, 11 in the morning, 12 p.m. Every single day is when I had Chick-fil-A. If I can do that over and over and over again, I can eat the meals that I cook over and over and over again. Chick-fil-A sandwich is a Chick-fil-A sandwich. Then they have the grilled Chick-fil-A sandwich. Then they have the Chick-fil-A sandwich deluxe. Then they have the those seasonal things, the jalapeno pepper and cheddar, whatever the things that they do. It's still a Chick-fil-A sandwich. So do the same thing. Okay, it's the still core thing of it is the chicken. Just the things around it changes. Okay, the core of it is beef. Okay, beef and sweet potatoes, beef and lentils, beef and rice, beef pasta. Beef is still the core of it. You're just doing different things. You guys understand where I'm coming from of how simple it is to build systems and break free from systems. It's as complicated or as simple as you want it to be. You choose the way. It's your journey. If you're gonna follow this, how do you want to follow it? How do you want it to be? My whole goal is to get to help you get to this point. And the only way for you to get to this point is you have to do this right here. That's what I provide. This right here, it works. It works. Now, if you want to take it to the next level and actually get there in a shorter time period, in a sense, or you have a full thing where you can have it, that's where the one-on-one mentorship is. If you don't need the one-on-one mentorship, just follow this. Just go from just do exactly what this is and apply it to your life. It's as simple as that. We've done this so many times. There's so many systems. And the way that I have it for you guys in the course is giving you is this system, but it's going to give you concepts of how to look at it and how you can actually gain it as well. Because like I say all the time, you guys help me grow just as much as you guys tell me that I help you grow. Like even RC yesterday when he said that, it'd be dope if you had a template. I never thought about that. I never thought about, like a template. I could really give them a template because I'm a visual person. A video is good for me. I would prefer like the video formats of it to see it visually. But RC, I appreciate you because there are people that would rather have a template, a more printable thing where they can write out as well. And the fact that you mentioned that to me, I'm like, I can actually add that as well. I could really create a template. And now I'm gonna have a template for you guys. So everybody that you guys will have it, but like let's say new people that join, they automatically get the template of it. And I want the template to be a what's the word? I want the template is gonna be universal, and the template is going to I'm gonna make the template in a way that it's like a template is like it's gonna be the video format on paper style. I want to have it in a way to where you can have the reverse pyramid style thing. So like I actually want to build out an actual real template because if you want a template, that means you actually really want to use it. I'm not about to give you some basic template. I don't want to give you no basic, hey, what is your goals? Clarity, practice. That doesn't help you. You can watch that in the video. You want a actual template. Therefore, I'm going to give you an actual template. That template, you can print it out, you can duplicate it, whatever it is you want to do, and you can follow that and use that exact same template for any system. All you do is just plug and play. That's all it is. Because I'm going to give you guys that pyramid method where you can have your first layer where you have all the things to get so you can get everything out of your mind. You can dump it all. Then you go down to the next layer and you go down to the next layer, next layer, next layer. And the template, the biggest focus, and this is with all of them, but the biggest focus is clarity. Clarity is always the number one important thing. That's one thing that I want you guys to take away, is clarity is always the most important. Spend time with this. And it may take shorter or longer, depending on however long it is it takes for you to get that full clarity. But you don't even worry about any of the other steps. Hone in and lock in all in on clarity. When you fully have clarity, only then can you go to practice. And then you go to repetition, and then you go to refinement, and then it becomes automatic. But clarity is the most important part. And a lot of people within myself, like as well, and that's why I love systems. That's why I love this doing this so much, because I get to learn more about systems that I have and systems that other have as people have as well. Systems that I need to break free from, systems that I want to break free from, systems that I want to build, and same thing with others. But one thing I've learned is, and I've observed this as well, everybody's different. But for that actual clarity thing, you can observe how this system works. I'm gonna show you guys. I guarantee you that this system works, right? And you can actually see how it works with things that you're already doing in life right now. Think about habits that you naturally have now. I want you guys, I'm gonna let you guys actually, I want to do this once again. Like Teresa, we did it yesterday with Teresa. Give me another example. I want to show you how this system naturally works in your life right now. Give me one habit that you have right now. It could be a good habit or a bad habit. It doesn't matter. If you want to break free from a habit, give me that and I'll give you the roadmap to break free from it. If you already have a good habit that you've built, let me know and I'm going to show you how this system, even regardless if you were aware of it, this 5-step system flow, it's how you accumulated the habits that you already have. And this same thing, this already applies to your life, even if you didn't know it. This could be your first time seeing this. And I guarantee you that this has already been happening in your life already. I want you guys to just give me one habit. One habit. It doesn't matter what the habit is, just give me one. And I will show you how this system has already been applying to your life and you didn't even know it. And now that you are aware of it, I want to show you guys how beautiful it is. If not, if you guys can't think of nothing, then I will see if I can think of one that a lot of people struggle with. I don't know, what's the majority of one? I don't think I can think of one off the top. I kind of already explained it when it came to like gluttony and eating out. That was a good example. Most people do that. Some of you guys may struggle with that. Some of you guys may struggle with eating out and resisting that urge. Good habit is flossing my teeth at night instead of only brushing. Boom. You guys are so amazing. I love how creative you guys get with the habits like Teresa did yesterday with the leaving money in a banking account. That is such a actual real thing. It wasn't, I love that you guys give these examples because it goes to show that even on the smallest levels, how everything is a system, even on the smallest level. RC said a good habit is flossing my teeth at night instead of. I'm glad that you said that because I got a dentist appointment tomorrow. I'm glad that you said because it reminded me about that. Um, Good habit is flossing my teeth at night instead of only brushing. Clarity, flossing your teeth. You've naturally started doing that because you had clarity flossing your teeth. You had to realize, well, why are you flossing your teeth in the first place? You started flossing for a reason. There was a specific reason why you floss. Because some people don't floss. There's a specific reason why you started flossing. You may have kept on seeing every time, let's say maybe before midnight, you had some steak. Every time you went to go brush your teeth, you always seen something stuck in your teeth. You always had that stuck in your teeth, so you make sure, yep, I gotta floss. And it was always at nighttime. Let's say nighttime was that last meal that you had or whatever. You had clarity. And what happened was you kept on practicing it. Every time at nighttime, you pick up this floss. You practice it and you repeat it. Refinement. Floss this way. Let me make sure I get behind here. Let me get here. And guess what? It becomes automatic. Now, this is just a natural thing for you to do. You do it without even thinking about it. You naturally floss. Your floss is right there. Your floss is right there by your toothbrush. It's not like your floss is in the car every single night. I gotta go to the car to get my floss. The floss is right there. So you build the habit of doing that. And that's a way to habit stack. To build systems on top of systems while you're building systems is very simple. When you're resisting something, just like how I told you guys with the when I was the porn, instead of just resisting it, I added something else on top of it. Okay, if I'm going to not watch it, what can I do instead? Just sit here and say I'm just not gonna watch it, I'm just not gonna watch it. Oh, let me replace that with something. Let me do some push-ups. I'm gonna do 10 push-ups every single time I have that thought. So it's submit to God, resist the devil, and he flee. Push-ups, push-ups, push-ups. And guess what naturally happens? You resist that, and you're also building up your body and strengthening your body. All by doing one thing. And then after you do the push-ups, you go do this. Let's say after you do the push-ups, you go journal. Boom. After you journal, you go do boom, 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 boom. Habit stacking. You build so much, and that is how you break free from literally any single system. You build so much distance away from that it's so much more challenging for you to go back to that. If you immediately the thought of watching the websites and you got your phone in your hand, you ain't got much distance. You right here. You right here with it. You want to resist it, your phone right here in your hand. And you already got it open? Oh man. 2 seconds. Build resistance. Okay, I have the urge. I'm gonna go do my push-ups. I'm gonna go put my phone in the car. Not even in the crib. I'm gonna go put my phone in the car. Go put my phone in the car. Come back. Now, if those thoughts pop up in your head, look at the friction now that you have. You gotta go all the way to the car first to get it. Then you gotta go through the whole process. You added so much distance in between that thing. And when you go put it in the car, then you start bringing it to life. Okay, these are the instructions. I know I shouldn't be doing this. If I do this, I'm going against what God told me to do. Blah 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 blah. You go through this whole plethora of list. You write it down, journal it down, this whole thing, speak it out. It's a lot more distance because yo, I did all of this. If I go back and watch that, that's just foolish. That's all on me. Build as much distance. Last thing I'll leave you guys with. If you're trying to break free from a system, build as much distance away from that trigger as possible. Whatever that trigger is, build as much distance as far away from it. You're already doing it, like let's say eating out. If you're at home, you're already building distance of it. Now, if you got the Uber Eats and the DoorDash and the Grubhubs on your phone, delete the apps. Because it's right there. You don't even got it. You tempted, you don't even gotta go. You right here on your phone. Right there in front of you, delete the apps. There you go. You build resistance. And if you want to build even more resistance, because obviously, yes, you can just download the apps. Put your phone somewhere away. Yeah. If you don't got that, go get you a lockbox and go put a timer on it for 3 hours and put your phone in there, and that box doesn't open for 3 hours. Now, in 3 hours, you can sit here and imagine and fantasize about eating out at this Chick-fil-A or whatever for 3 hours, or you can say, yo, my phone already logged away for 3 hours. Psh, I might as well just cook, right? I might as well just cook something. I know I ain't gonna be able to go Uber Eats. I know I'm not gonna go out and eat it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put my keys. Put your keys to the car in that lockbox as well. 3 hours. Now you cannot go, even if you didn't have your phone. You can't go to the grocery store, or you can't not a grocery store. You can't go eat out, and you ain't got your phone to do Uber Eats, and you know that you got 3 hours to wait. I might as well cook something, right? I might as well. I might as well just cook something. You wanted something to eat now. You was hungry then. Psh, I might as well, right? Boom, look at the friction that you just built, and there you go. You just built so much distance away from it, and you keep doing that every single time, where the friction becomes less and less and less. Now you no longer need to put your phone in a lockbox. You don't need to put your phone in the car no more. You don't need to have the apps on your phone no more. You can have your phone right here in your hand and still don't have the urge of it. You could have fasted for 24 hours. You have your phone in your hand, the ability to go to the apps. You could have even had the apps on your phone. Obviously you wouldn't because you deleted it. But you could have had the apps on your phone and you still wouldn't go do it because you done built up so much distance from it, and you built it up for so long that you no longer see the starting line. You're on mile 10 and now you see the finish line. You can't see that starting line no more. The starting line is what you saw at first when you kept on falling short. You can't see that starting line no more. Now you just see nothing but the finish line. What's the point of you going back to it? You done did that 300 times. And you done cooked 300 different times, bro. 300 times. If I done cooked the meal and resisted, if I not just cooked the meal, because it's easy to cook, but if I resisted a temptation, think about the last thing that I'll say, right? Let me go to the full face. I'm gonna end you guys off with this. Go to the full camera. I want to show you guys how simple it is to build a system or break free from a system. Check this out. If I done did the same thing over, if I resisted the urge to eat out 500 times in a row, imagine how easy it is to resist the urge of eating out. Versus if you only resisted 2-3 times and then you fell back into it. Look at the bigger gap. Bro, you did it 2 or 3 times and fell. If I did it 500 times, if I did it 1,000 times in a row and resisted it 1,000 times in a row, it'd be a lot easier for me to resist it at 1,000 the first time. That's it. That is it. I hope that I hope you guys have enjoyed this week. And I appreciate you all so much, man. God is so good. God is so good. I am so excited for you guys. I'm so excited about this. When it comes to the platform, you guys are going to have it all. Because, I observed that everybody has their own way and their purpose. My purpose is to get you guys to the point where you know how to build your own systems, and you can build your own systems, any system that you want, break free from any system. And that's what that course is going to have. And I know that it's so much value in it, right? It is so much value in it. And I want it to be as helpful to you guys as possible. And that's why I'm just taking the time to really build it out. I already have a few videos, and literally, I'm going to show you guys how simple this is going to be and so powerful. It's going to be the system flow, because when I talk to you guys on these calls, right, we go for an hour and some change, and we break down so many different examples and go over the place. In the course, it's like taking all of the things that we said, all the gems that I would drop, and concising it to this into one video or a couple of videos, a couple of different topics. Like, there's going to be a video that specifically talks about the reverse pyramid method. And it's going to break that down. All we're talking about that entire video is the reverse pyramid method. All we're going to talk about is how to enjoy the process. All we're going to talk about is that barrier. That's all we're talking about in those specific videos. Because by the time I'm creating a course, that by the time you finish this, you will have all the tools that you need to get started on it. And if you, once again, don't need, because a lot of people don't need it, if you need the one-on-one mentorship, that is where I will come into place. Because the one-on-one mentorship is like taking that and 100xing it. Because that is where I actually we build this out from scratch. I build it out, we build it out, one-on-one calls, not one-on-one every single day calls, but constantly texting every single day. That accountability of getting you, because that's that biggest thing that I've observed. It's that part where when you have somebody holding you accountable, and I've learned this from me being a mentor as well, I am held to a different standard than it's just me because I have to practice what I preach. I have to deliver on the thing that I'm promising. And when you have somebody that's holding you accountable every single time, it's like, yo, I fell short. You gotta come to that person and say that every single time. And we keep on refining it every single time. It's a different level. It's like taking whatever it is you want to do and then concising it to the point where you can get everything that you need for the rest of your life in 1 month. And I've observed that. That's what me and Danny did. I don't remember how long I worked with her, but it wasn't like a 20-month thing. The actual one-on-one thing, it was less than 3 months. Less than 3 months. She went from um blowing accounts to where she's at now. And now months later, she's living her beautiful life and doing what she wants to do. That's all it does. It's just 100 exit. And that's why for you guys, the ones that are already a part of it, and while I'm building it out, that's why the price is still the way it is that you guys see it as. Because anybody that would join before I switch everybody over to that platform, you would get that because those videos and that value, even though I have thousands of videos already, not thousands of videos, but I have a whole bunch of videos already here that's already valuable. But there, all of that information is there, and that's why the price there is significantly different than what the price is here for you guys. You guys will keep this price when I transfer you guys over. And while I'm building this out, anybody that does join or anybody that did join, you keep the same set price. I'm not going to make you. That doesn't make any sense because that's a different platform. I'm going to just transfer you guys over with your same price, but once I actually release the platform to the public and everybody else, then that price that I have is going to be the price. And I'm not going to lower the price. Same thing for my one-on-one. My one-on-one is the price it is. I'm not lowering that. But the price of that, because I know the value that comes with it, because this isn't a where I give you a workout plan. You go follow that workout plan. This is something that can change your life for the rest of your life. I know that a couple videos, one video alone could change somebody's life for the rest of their life. That's where the value is. And I am so excited for you guys because I just know, and I know who my audience is. I know who the people that I'm speaking to. I'm speaking to people that actually want to change, and you guys are my audience. You guys actually really want to change. So I know that the people that I'm speaking to, and this is so beautiful about this, is why I love it and why I love you guys so much, because my audience is not just anybody. My audience is not just people that want dopamine or just entertainment. My audience is people that actually really want to change and that are actually willing to put into the work to change. My audience is the people that don't want you to grow the garden. They want you to teach them how to plant the seeds and how to grow the garden, take care of the garden themselves. That's who my audience is, and that's who you guys are. You want to know how to build your own things, and you really want to put in the work. It's not you're just saying it. My audience is not people. Um, that's why I don't just let anybody in, especially with like my one-on-one mentorship or even the course as well. That's why I have it the way that I have. If you just want a dopamine rush and X, Y, and Z, that's not the place for you because I've observed that people, and you guys probably observed this as well. You maybe have tried to put people on game with trading. You maybe try to put them on game with X, Y, and Z. You try to get them in, and you give them all this volume, all this knowledge for the free piece, and they don't even do nothing with it. They just take everything you say and just throw it out the window, and then they come back to you complaining about their life and X, Y, and Z because they don't want it that bad. They don't. They would rather. My audience are the ones that actually want to get on the court, not just have a jersey. Not just to say that they have a jersey. You guys want to actually get in the game and win championships. You want to be a part of the reason why that team won the championship, not just be a part of the team that won the championship. You guys are the starters, not the ones that are in the audience, not the crowd. That's who my audience is. And knowing that, that's why even with the business, same, I love talking about it, bro, because it's a system. That's how I built the system. Why do I had to gain clarity? It's like, who am I speaking to? Like I can't speak to everybody with this business. this business does, it can't apply to everybody. The videos that I make, it cannot apply to everybody. So I have to actually get clarity on who am I speaking to. And when I've observed that, I said, yo, if I'm speaking to this people, I know that if they would actually apply it. Therefore, I know that if what I'm saying actually works and they actually apply this, yo, their life is going to be changed. That's what goes through my mind. That's why I'm so excited about it. Like, I would literally spend hours. Like, I was up to like 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning last night um, building out like the portfolios for my 101. Like, I have a whole Notion database for my 101s, building out the videos, making the videos, putting the videos there. Cause I'm like, yo, this is going to change so many people's lives. And I'm so grateful that God is using me to impact your life and change your life. I just can't wait to see the transformation in you guys' lives. And you know that when it all comes back circle place, God, the Most High, always gets the most glory. Because if it wasn't for him, there would be no Codename Seer. Codename Seer wouldn't even be a channel. There would be no Codename Seer if it wasn't for God. There would be no OMC if it wasn't for God. There would be no me if it wasn't for God. So I got to give him all the praises and all the credit and let him use me to plant the seed and help you guys. Other than that, that is it for me today. You guys are absolutely amazing.